Life ashore may be kind of routine. So how do you get the courage to try something totally new? Hi, welcome to the Boat Galley Podcast. I'm Carolyn Sherlock, here with tips, reviews, and how-tos for your cruising adventure. This episode of the Boat Galley Podcast is sponsored by GoSun.co, inventors of the world's fastest, most compact solar cookers for all your ship-to-shore culinary adventures. GoSun, using the power of the sun to fuel your galley life. Use coupon code GALLEY2018 to save 10% on any order through December of 2018. Slow down, slow down. For most of us, one of the biggest changes in transitioning to a cruising life is that everything is new. I mean every single thing. I've talked about it, written about it, podcasted about it, and how it really does get easier, particularly after the first year. And then recently, I had a revelation. Well, actually, I had a conversation with Jan Irons, who's a close friend, a cruiser, and my cookbook co-author. She was talking about their decision to return to cruising this past winter. And a big part of it was wanting to be doing new things, not stagnating, challenging themselves. Last summer, Jan told me, she'd heard Darius Rucker's song for the first time, with its lyrics of, "When was the last time you did something for the first time?" And it really spoke to her. And I realized that if you're preparing to cruise, making an effort to do new things is a great way to ease into the cruising mindset. And if you've been cruising for a while, or have paused to deal with life, say boat repairs, medical issues, or refilling the cruising kitty, it can help keep this important cruising skill alive and keep us looking forward to the ongoing adventures. Being comfortable with change and learning new things is a huge part of cruising and, I'll admit, an aspect of the adventure that most people don't think about when considering the lifestyle. I mean, we see we're going to new places and doing new things as part of the attraction to cruising, but we don't really think about how that's going to affect us. Learning to embrace uncertainty is definitely a cruising skill, and one that can be practiced without having to be out on the water. You don't have to be learning boat-specific skills or even trying boating things to get comfortable with the little fear, adrenaline rush, and uncertainty that accompanies doing something new, or experiencing the high that comes with conquering something that is totally outside your comfort zone. Sure, you can take some classes, online or in person, to give yourself some boating skills, a Power Squadron navigation course, an ASA sailing course, cruising university, a diesel class at the community college, or even a foreign language. But how about doing some other things too, such as take a different route to work, start a new hobby that's way different from anything you've done before, try a new exercise routine you've been a little nervous about, speak at least 3 sentences to a total stranger every day, have a no TV night once a week, go to a different grocery store every week, learn to drive stick shift if you don't already know how, read a different newspaper or magazine, go out dancing or to a poetry reading or whatever else just isn't you. Listen to your kids' music favorites, even when they're not around. Get a different haircut or a color or stop coloring it. How about trying eating something you've never had before? Tackle a repair or maintenance task that you've always hired out. When someone invites you to do something that doesn't really sound like your thing, go anyways. Typically do the same thing on your vacation every year? Choose something totally opposite this time around. Don't order your old standby at your favorite restaurant. Always have lunch with the same group of people? Invite someone else to join you. How about welcoming the new neighbor to the neighborhood? If it's been more than 10 years since you've been on the laundromat, Do your next batch of laundry in one. Go on a roller coaster, the big one. Take on a totally new responsibility at work. Take public transportation if you always drive. Use buses or walk in town. Take Amtrak or Greyhound if you're going out of town. I know that most of us don't see getting used to doing new things as a skill, but I'm going to argue that it is. It's a constant theme in several of the cruising forums and Facebook groups that I'm a part of. The learning curve for just living on a boat, letting alone moving from place to place, is huge and constant. And most of us, in our adult lives, don't find ourselves challenged to do new things on a daily basis until suddenly we start cruising. And so it's not just that we're having to learn new things. The very fact that we are doing new things is new. We're constantly being forced outside our comfort zone. What I've learned is that going outside my comfort zone is a skill, and it's transferable. Success in doing one new thing makes me believe I can do something else that's new. I've always said that cruising is easier after the first year, as there isn't so much that's new. And it's true. But I'm also coming to think that part of the reason it's easier is that we're learning that we can do new things and can adapt to uncertainty. We're learning that those boundaries we've set for ourselves are just there to be smashed through. I can't becomes why not? A year ago, I started taking yoga classes. I'd never done anything remotely like it and struggled initially. But my eventual success gave me the courage to try trapeze yoga just a few months ago. And you know what? I love it. So what have you done lately for the first time? Thanks for listening. If you like the show, please be sure to subscribe in your podcast app. Just search for the Boat Galley Podcast. And reviews are always appreciated. Until next time, then.
Slow down, slow down.